It's not yet dawn. The sky is light, but the sun's not yet risen. There are not yet too many machines rushing all around and making noise. And you can hear the birds awakening. It's been raining a little bit, and it's very foggy here. It's interesting how we're kind of trained and inclined to look far away for everything we hope to discover and become and seek. Relationally, intellectually, spiritually, developmentally. Our attention is always dragged in many different directions, largely by confusion that we've acquired from language or culture, media, distraction, crisis. But the amazing thing that is so hard to see is that this is the true spirit world. This is the only world. This is our world. And this is the place that all of our stories in science and religions are far less than. So much less than that they don't even matter. Yet they too commonly orient our minds and hopes, our dreams, our fears, so constantly and profoundly that we cannot see this world. Or ourselves, or each other, or the actual impossible beauty and intelligence that is our true origin, nature, and endowment. And anyone seeing this even for a moment, anyone glimpsing it, will always thirst again for another encounter, a deeper experience of what's actually going on in and as our own bodies and minds and world. We've all heard stories of afterlives and reincarnation. And many of them are quite incredibly ridiculous. Yet in language or to thought, they can, after long exposure, come to make some kind of seeming sense. I think we should presume that they're all lies. And find their origins here in our own experience, interest, relation, and curiosity, our own discovery together. But about these ideas, especially the one of reincarnation, it's typical of the way that we're trained to think. And what we're told essentially is something like, each life is an interval in a circle, and between them there is a kind of dreaming that is uncontrollable, and then we emerge again in human birth or some other kind of birth. We incarnate. This idea is not uninteresting, nor entirely without merit. Yet I think if we look carefully within ourselves and our own lives, we'll discover very surprising features of this idea. Very unexpected, very real to our experience, aspects of what it means to die and be reborn, to incarnate, to reincarnate, to resist incarnation, to do something other, to decarnate, to depersonate, for example. And in thinking about this, I realized that each of our earthly years can be thought of as a complete life and death cycle. Around our conception date, in this toy, this lens, this way of thinking, we undergo conception again. And if we are aware, we will notice. And then we are 9 months in the womb, or many months, and then around our birth date, or on our birth date, we are born into a new cycle that should reform and advance and transform all the previous cycles quite dramatically, especially if we were aware of such matter. And then we get 3 months of life, and then we die, and are reconceived again each year. But of course this happens almost with any span of time. A month, a week, certainly a day. The waking self completely dies into dreaming, where in general it is present in only the strangest kind of mostly absent way. And then is reborn on our awakening. We might imagine completely new and clean, reborn like a child, and yet how quickly we reassemble the vehicles with which we travel and negotiate our existence in the largely fictional constructs of our cultural experience, especially where that experience is happening in cities or places where we are isolated, divided, made into factions and functions, fictions and frictions. But I'm reminded that this moment is incarnation. And when we are aware, we don't have to wait years or lifetimes to understand and see to become alive, to discover why we have all these strange stories and what it is that science is deftly tracing out in nature. And at their source, neither of these things are like our products. The religions are not like our stories. The realities of science are not like our descriptions. In the same way that we are not like our stories and descriptions, but are perhaps their origins and audience. Well, what is so astonishing to me is that this truly is the only world. This is the spirit place where all the beings dwell and live, learn, are born and die. One world. This is what we imagine, everything that we imagine that is far away. This is worlds with alien life. This is worlds where heaven is right in and as our own hands and eyes. The tree, the bird, the sky. This is everything we've placed far away in language, abstracted away into science, and dismissed with mechanical or dogmatic imprecations, arguments, debate, opinion, what we rather clumsily call tradition. This is the world where our ancestors' souls are entwined with every breath we take. The entire history of life on earth, its future, the true origins of our souls and minds and intellects. This is the living body of their presence. This is what people are talking about when they talk about afterlives and the place where the dead dwell and the places where other intelligences might live. It's this place. But there's a terrifyingly confusing array of veils over everything, including all those veils that claim to unveil it. So how shall we see then together and remember that this place here and us, our moment, this moment and possibility of incarnation together, is everything that we've thought of and imagined as far away elsewhere, unavailable to us, mere fiction or futurism, that all of the mysteries of science and religion are speaking to our own ears, singing with our own voices. One might rather ask, how could it be we forgot? How could we become so compelled and distracted that anything else could seem true or real? The answer to that is long and complex. But the simple aspect is we developed representational minds, and those have peculiar vulnerabilities to descriptions. A long time ago, we have a story of a prophet who said, "The kingdom of heaven is at hand." Now, of course, that's an English translation, and who knows who said what precisely, but if we take this prophet at their word, we might imagine that it was not that they were speaking of time, but rather of something very peculiar about our own hands, with which such stories were recorded and passed down long streams of time into minds. No, something about our own hands, something about this place here, something about us right now. Not far away, not in the future, not after death. In fact, if not in life, here with each other, not anywhere. The stories we make all disappear the moment there's any kind of crisis. The moment the fictions fall away, all of the ideas we have collapse. Birth and death are like this. If you will seek deeply into your own origin, the living world, this moment, what it means to incarnate now, to have a new incarnation now, to urgently, passionately reach into and for yourself and life on earth, this place, this world here, to know its soul as your own. You'll need no instruction from books, and none will suffice. I won't be able to help you, and no teacher will tell you, for you will remember. You'll remember yourself to this world and this place, this life, your body. Its intricate, delicate, and most profound relation with the most astonishing phenomenon and the only world we know, the only true world. The only living world. I say to you, we live in all we long for elsewhere, and that here if only our eyes will see what they were born to be and know, no distant place will hold much interest for us. For here together with and for each other, this indeed is paradise. And I say, there is no other.